Hi, Supermoms. My name is Vera Stepina, and I'm the host of the Supermom Summit. Today, my guest is Lindsey Hardy. She is a certified health coach. She's a personal trainer. She is the founder of Inspire Health Team, and she's the mom of three wonderful children.
Hi, Vera. How
Hi,
are you
Lindsey.
today? Good. Thank you so
I'm
much
doing
for having me
wonderful.
on
How
your
are you?
summit.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to do an interview today. I'm so excited because I have so many questions for you. And let's start with something simple. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get
Sure, of course.
inspired to be a health
I was
coach?
always really
Just
interested in
something about you.
athletics and very active as a child growing up. And in middle school, I had an eating disorder. Just as you start to mature as a woman, and turn into a woman, just your body changes. And that turned into anorexia. And from then, like, I struggled mentally a lot with just knowing what to eat and how to take care of my body. And I looked okay on the outside through high school. I was an athlete. I managed. I'm not sure how, but I wasn't giving my body the nutrition it needed. And then I got married, had kids, ended up staying at home with them, which I love. I love being a mom. But still, again, I just didn't have this healthy relationship with food and my body and image. And so I became a personal trainer, and I started working with people in the gym, and I love that. But I realized that nutrition plays such a huge role in people's health. I mean, that's the ultimate, goal is to get people healthy. So then my passion started switching a little more. I love working out, I do, but I realized if I don't help people get healthy from the inside out, then they're not going to be healthy. And so that's what led me to be an Inspire Health coach. And about 6 years ago, I had a healing process in my own life, and I just wanted to share that with others. So, and I have 3 kids, so I should say 12, they're 12, 10, and 8, 2 boys and a girl. My husband's a football coach, and we live in Georgia, so down in the South. So you'll hear a little Southern accent. Yes.
Well, I have a little bit of an accent too, so it's good. So what is a health coach? As I understand, it's not only about nutrition.
To be healthy really
What
means,
is
I
being
mean,
healthy?
I don't
What does
want
it
this
mean
to
to you?
sound like cliche, but we always think of health in terms of just physical. I want to lose weight. I want to fit in a size 6. But really, to be healthy, you can look great, but not be healthy mentally either. And again, that's what my struggle was, emotionally and spiritually. And so I think those 4 aspects of your life, a lot of times food may not even be the issue. It may be a relationship in your life. And so a health coach is really someone who comes alongside, someone. You can go see your doctor, and that's great, but they're very busy. I want to be a doctor, and I'm not putting them down at all, but they're just very busy. And so a health coach is really going to spend that time with you, almost like a counselor, but focusing on those 4 areas of your life and really figuring out how can we improve all of it, like a very holistic approach to your life. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I had an expert. We were talking about hormones, and he was basically saying that there's a similar thing that you go to the doctor, they run a blood test, and
Right.
it actually comes out fine, but you're still not feeling great. So this is where something like this comes, more useful because you can go deeper and actually find things that might be wrong with you, but you don't know about it. So as I understand, basically it's
Yes,
about
definitely. It's a lot
finding
about
that
balance. And I find the clients that I work with,
Yeah.
one of my struggles was that tend to all or nothing attitude, life, and you just can't, if it's going to be a lifestyle, you can't live that way. So it's finding the balance.
Yeah. So you have 3 kids, you have a successful business, you have a very passionate relationship with your husband. How do you balance it all out? How do you find time,
Right.
make time for them?
It's a challenge. I'm
Still
not
have time
perfect.
for yourself.
Last night I was on the phone a lot, and my family knew that, but I can't make that habit every night. So it's a challenge, and I always have to remind myself of what's the most important. To me, my family is the most important. They come first. But I really, really care about people. And so sometimes I can tend to give too much. And so realizing that you need to set boundaries in your life. So if you're a health coach that's listening to this, I think it's really important to be like, you know what, this can wait, and I need to focus on my kids kids right now are my family. And so finding that balance, I also cut out things that are time wasters. I don't watch TV at all. I mean, unless the football game's on. I love football, but I don't. I really don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't really waste time. So not that I don't get on Facebook and kind of hang out and watch things, but I think that's really important when you're trying to manage a family and a career. And I love being able to be at home. That was one of my biggest reasons for this profession too, was like, I'm a mom, and right now that's my main job, and I'm a wife, but I can work from home and help people, and with like this, with technology these days, it's amazing what you can do. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. So you decide the priorities. You have the priorities in your life,
I'm very,
and
my personality is
you
very
plan, right?
yes. I'm just kind of like go with the flow. Yeah, let's see if we can fit this in. So my schedule will change a lot, so I can work it and tweak it. But I also each day I know, okay, this is what I have tomorrow, and I always set aside time for myself to work out. I think that's really important. Again, if you're going to help others be healthy, you've got to take care of yourself. So you have to decide. It doesn't need to be an hour or 2 hours, but I set aside that time. I block off the time. I'm like, I am not available when I pick my kids up from school till an hour later, because that's the time we're in the car together. So I'm just like, everyone knows, like, I won't talk to you then. So yes, so I know those boundaries that I have with my family. And in some weeks, I let my husband know, I'm like, this is going to be a busy week. We just communicate. Communication is important.
Okay, and I think it's really important that you have somebody behind you. Like, I understand your husband is supportive. My husband is very supportive too. When I just started, this summit idea, he didn't really believe that something like this could happen. So he was kind of on edge, and then I recorded 2 interviews and I showed it to him, and he looks and he's like, "You're really doing this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am really doing this." So ever since that, he has been really supportive, and he's been helping with the kids a lot. And actually, one of my oldest, he's not in the country right now. He's spending summer with my parents in Russia.
Right.
So it's he's
I
helping
think
with
it's
baby
great
a
for
lot.
our husbands.
It was
Most of the
amazing.
time, is they're still getting attention. Like, they want to see us happy and thriving. And as moms, it's really good to have something that you're passionate. And when you're doing something you're passionate about, you really become like alive. And I think it really helps us to get out of ourselves, because we're focused on like our goal. It's like our goal is to help people grow and strive. And I found that when I started helping others and really pursuing my passion, like, I stopped worrying about the petty things. Like, I don't like this, or I need to go shopping. Like, it was just, I don't have time for that anymore. So I think it's healthy, and my husband definitely loves to see me doing what I love too. They want us to be happy. So
I remember taking a 2 hour trip
right.
to Target 5 times a week. Because I mean, where else am I gonna go? It's 95 outside. They have AC. There's a playground. So Target, but I find that now I don't have the time, to do that. And I'm glad. I'm glad that I don't have the time to do that, because it would be a $300
You don't only
trip.
make money, you save money.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Because the second you walk into Target,
Right.
and it's you need to buy everything. So let's talk about nutrition a little bit. You said that you had an eating disorder. How did you come to the conclusion that you have a problem?
It was very visible. I lost like 30 pounds in a month or so, a month or two. I just basically cut out calories, and I wasn't eating, so it was very visible. My parents were amazing. They just were encouraging. They helped me, and I slowly started getting my weight back. And that's where physically I looked okay, but I think my metabolism slowed down. And I knew, like, I wasn't like one of those people who was like, I don't have a body issue, and I knew I struggled with it. But I didn't always know like how to fix it. So I prayed a lot as a young girl, like about 20 something journals that I used to write in. So I knew I had a problem, and it was basically just, that was my issue, and I just wanted to be free from that. And it took some years, of going through different things. And then in high school, it turned into like exercise session. I was a runner, and I would work out like 3 times a day. And so there's just a lot of women out there, and some of you that may be listening are like, wow, I can really identify with this. And I always thought I'm kind of a perfectionist. I'm kind of a recovering perfectionist, I think now. But it was like, if I don't, if I work out this many hours this day, then I need to do it again this day, or I'm not good enough. I was just very, very hard on myself. And so, as we grow and mature, we learn that, wow, that's not really a good way to live and to treat yourself. And I've just taken a lot of that pressure off myself, and freed myself from that bondage. And so I don't go into that how I teach. It's all the psychology I have now about thinking about my body and food. So, yeah.
So you also talk about on your website, you talk about portion control. What is portion control? How do you know that I need this portion?
I don't really. Like I said, because I was so hard on myself. Now I believe in freedom. Okay, so I don't really teach. I don't measure things at all. But what I try to do, I really focus on the glycemic index, and I do a lot of teaching on that. And what I've learned is that if I eat the right foods and I don't let myself, see, my issue was not eating enough, and I was always craving sugar. And so now I teach people, like, when you're eating, you want to have some protein, you want to have some complex carbohydrates, meaning carbohydrates with a lot of fiber. Usually those are natural carbs, not processed. Some usually, a vegetable, greens, and then some healthy fat. So when I'm eating a meal, that's what I try to eat, and I want to eat every 2 to 3 hours. And when you balance your blood sugars, you don't have those cravings for other things. And you also, it's interesting, when you give your body the nutrients, you give your cells the nutrients they need, your body is like content, and so your mind's not thinking about food so much. The reason we obsess about food is because we're like, there's something missing, or we're not giving our bodies what they need. So I definitely like portion control. I think I don't think it should be a strict thing, because I do believe that if you wake up and eat a good breakfast and then you have a healthy snack, your body is going to tell you what it needs, and you won't have that 4 o'clock afternoon, like, I have to eat everything in the pantry feeling. Yeah.
So I usually have
it's just it's thinking about your body from a cellular standpoint. So I do a lot. I don't know if y'all are familiar with oxidation, but I talk about how an apple turns brown when you cut it open. That's oxidation, just like your cells. Your cells are going through oxidation. Oxidation is what leads to degenerative disease. So if you're going to prevent oxidation, you need to have a lot of antioxidants in your diet, and antioxidants come from mostly vegetables and fruits. And so my whole thing now is I see my body from a cellular standpoint, and like, if I'm going to be healthy, not just today and tomorrow and next week, but 20 years from now, I think long term. It's not about what I look like. If I do this, I will look okay. It's like, 20 years from now, how do I want to feel? I'll probably be a grandma at that point. And for me, it's like, if I love myself enough, and I think, I'm going to nourish it with the nutrition that it needs. And that's how I think about food now. So it's more of it's a love relationship with food. And I still have ice cream and things like that, but I value my body, and I know what it needs, so I'm going to give it what it needs. It's like, if you have a plant, you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to water you every week out there, then it's going to die. So I just want to take the same care with my body.
Yeah. I think it's a great approach about, thinking what you're putting into your body. So right. If you love your body's going to love you back. Mm-hmm. This is kind of how it happens. So what about your reset
program? Is actually a 5-day. I don't really like diets, but I have a lot of people that need something to help them jumpstart. So like I said, I teach the glycemic lifestyle, and that's eating what I said: protein, carbs, fiber, fat, so that your blood sugars don't spike. When your blood sugars spike, your body releases insulin. Insulin's a fat-storing hormone. So everyone calls me and they're like, I want to lose weight, and I was like, well, let's talk about your health, overall health, And the reset, what it does is it gets people's blood sugars back on track. So it's glycemic, very, very good. I had one this morning. Shakes, they're gluten-free, they're non-genetically modified, they're very high quality, and bars, and then very high quality pharmaceutical supplements. So I do that for 5 days, and I've probably had over 400 people, maybe more, do the reset, and I get like amazing results with everyone. And so then what it does is people are like, remember the first few times I put people on the reset, they were like, wow, like I'm not craving things anymore. Like I have no cravings for sugar. And the reason it's not because there's appetite suppressants, it's just because it really puts your blood sugars on a very slight rise and drop so that your hormones are balanced and not having those sugar cravings. And then after reset, we usually kind of wean people off, and then I start teaching them, okay, now we need to eat a low glycemic dinner. And they learn that if you eat 5 times a day, your cravings are going to go away, your energy is going to improve, you're going to have more mental clarity. I help people with cholesterol pressure. It's very high in fiber, so it cleanses out your digestive system as well, which is in a gentle way. It's not like, So yeah, I love the program.
That sounds really nice. You mentioned the appetite suppressors. What do you think about those?
I don't believe. I was actually totally against supplements for a while until I started realizing that a lot of people aren't getting the nutrients they need. So I just did a lot of research and found something that I could recommend and trust that was actually going to work. I'm like, if you're going to take a vitamin, because there's no regulation on the supplement industry. So I don't believe in taking stuff that you can't take for the rest of your life. I believe taking a good multivitamin, a good fish oil, a probiotic. If you have other issues, there's some other things I would recommend, but those are kind of your staples. And then eating a low glycemic diet, preferably whole foods. But I'm a busy mom. There's times where I'm like, I gotta go get the kids, or I gotta go, and I don't have time to eat. So it's either you saw me make one of the shakes instead of getting fast food, and they're more of a supplement, but they help. So I don't think appetite suppressants are good. I think you can suppress your appetite by eating the right way, and that's what happened with me, is I learned to eat the right way and the right variety of food, and then I was like, wow, I'm not craving sugar like I used to all the time because I was giving my body what it needed.
I mean, I know a lot of people who want to jumpstart, so they take different supplements to not want to eat as much or to burn fat.
Yeah,
or,
sometimes it's motivating for people to get. They're like, gosh, I'm doing everything I can, but I can't get those 5 pounds off, And so it's motivating. A lot of my clients, it's just really motivating to have like a 5-pound jump start. But really, my whole goal is to prove point to them that if you eat this way and you eat low glycemic, you're gonna lose weight. So it helps. And some people can do it all on their own, like, and tell them this is what you need to eat, and do it all on their own. And then other people need more control, to help just get them going and create new habits. The biggest thing is the habits. Yeah.
I agree with you. And I was going to ask you about ice cream, but I talked about it already. So, but so it looks simple. Every evening, we are so busy with kids. There's work, laundry, husband lunches. I don't know, dogs, yards, and 7:30 the kids are in bed.
Right.
I'm pooped. All I want, I want to have a bowl of ice cream, lie down on the couch, watch some TV. How do I fight those cravings? So I understand I need to eat low glycemic diet. What if by 7:30 I don't want anything low glycemic anymore? I just want that ice cream.
I would probably ask you like what you're eating through the day. Like when was the last? I mean, what did you eat for dinner? When was the last time? Cravings can come from 2 things. They can either be because your blood sugars have dropped. Like maybe you ate a dinner that was a little, like some people might eat a dinner that's like, oh, I'm going to go pick up fast food. I don't know what y'all have out there. So, or eat pizza. And then it's like, oh my gosh, you have a craving because your blood sugars just dropped. And now you're releasing those hormones. Or it can also be because sugar is very addicting. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I know because in the summer, it's like we have ice cream in our house because it's summer and it's hot here, and that's just something we keep in our house. And it's like, are you eating ice cream because you really want it and you're hungry, or are you eating it because you're just like, I have it every night? This is just what I do. It is very soothing. I also think at nighttime, like your what am I trying to say? Your melatonin and serotonin levels kind of switch. So your serotonin starts to drop, which is what wakes you up in the morning. And your serotonin is what makes you feel good. And sometimes at night, when your serotonin levels are starting to drop, we kind of want something sweet to make us feel good. So there's all kinds of reasons that you could be wanting ice cream, other than it's really awesome and good. I agree. I love ice cream, and I don't think it's bad to have ice cream. But again, you could go back to like, what if you could just get? I actually just got some of these little little bitty mason jars. They're cute and they're great for just small little servings, and they're cute. So you feel like you're having something in a little fancy dish, but they're like little bitty mason jars. You know what I'm talking about? And you could put like a little scoop of ice cream in there. And so things like that, where it's like, you know what, I need something, but just get enough. Don't eat out of the carton, you know, because you eat way more than you would have put in the bowl, and then just sit down and like enjoy your ice cream, and that's okay. But it's like, it gets into this, I have to have it every night, then there's probably a problem, you know, or maybe you're not eating enough earlier in the day to give your body everything it needs. So.
Yeah, I think it's always more of a problem when you watch TV and you eat mindlessly. You don't think about what you eat. So I always try to teach my older son, we do not watch TV while we're eating, because the food is our energy, and we need to feed our bodies. So we need to see what we're eating, and we need to think about it. We need to enjoy our food, because I mean, I think food is wonderful. You don't have to, I don't know, think about the food like it's your enemy, because it's not your enemy. But also, just think about what you're eating. I think, usually it's a problem for a lot of us.
Like, really enjoy. And I used to do a lot, and now I learned, like, when you're making lunch, like, put it on a pretty plate and make it feel, because it's all emotional. Food is emotional too, so it doesn't have to be those quick grabs of sugary things. It could be like, make yourself a pretty salad, and I have a lot of tips for cooking, and we're going to talk about too. So.
And we also, if the weather allows, it's not always nice. I mean, it's nice here in San Diego, it's so hot during summer. But if it's not in the evening, we take our food outside, we eat in the backyard, we just look at the mountains, and I think it kind of helps you to not think about food as you don't just stuff yourself. You just enjoy it, and I think that's good. But I also understand that after this day, you have to take one child from one soccer practice to the ballet or to something else, and then there's no time, you can make enough snacks, so you go to drive-through, and that's where it starts. You do it once, and then your sugar level goes up, and then they drop, and then you want it again, as you said. And you want pizza, and then at the end of the day, all you want is ice cream, because
it's amazing how quickly, like, people will be like, well, I just ate something, or my kids, I just gave them dinner. Why are you hungry again? And it's because they ate something that spikes their blood sugars, and it only takes like 20 minutes, and then your blood sugars are back down, and you feel horrible, and you're just like, oh, I need something to make me feel better, And your brain's telling you I have a whole slide on this, but like, I have low blood sugar. Like this is dangerous. You need to get your sugars up. So it starts craving things that are processed. And something people don't realize, I think one of the common snacks we give children is pretzels. And pretzels are one of the highest glycemic snacks you can possibly eat, because it's just white flour. And a lot of people I work with will say, well, there's no sugar in a pretzel. It's just it's sugar on this label. And I'm like, but white flour turns into sugar when you eat it, and to have those same issues. So I'm always trying to teach people to eat things. Like you can have pretzels, but that's like 20% of your diet. That shouldn't be an everyday snack. And if you do have pretzels, it would be better to eat it with some cheese or some peanut butter or something that's gonna add some fat or protein into it to lower that glycemic index of it. But yeah, the fast food thing, I totally believe in moderation. I don't want my daughter to have any disorder, so I'm not going to be like, you can't have this, you can't have this. We always talk about healthy lifestyle and what it means. And I told her even yesterday, I want you to love yourself enough to like want to nourish your body with good food. I'm like, I'm going to let you have some ice ice cream, and it's okay. You can get, Chick-fil-A every now and then, but I want you to want to eat healthy. My middle son does. He's always like, can I get some apples? He's really cute. He's totally different than the other two. But I understand. So fast food, and even myself, like there's days where I'm out and I'm like, I didn't bring a snack with me, or I try to keep like bags of almonds in my car. That way, if I am hungry, they're there. Don't leave your house for you're gone for 5 hours and not take an apple or something with you. Take a wrap, take something with you. But if I am getting fast food, there are options where you can get salads. I mean, they're not the best. I'm sure the meat's not great, but there are options that you can choose.
They're still better than it's still better than eating forced restaurants,
right?
Because you eat at 6 a.m. and it's a birthday party. There's pizza.
I think that's the problem. Is people just go too long without eating, and we don't plan what we're eating. And I think if you can start your day and kind of have a plan, like, okay, this is what I'm eating. I need to take something with me. And just always be prepared so that you have stuff with you.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk a little bit about cooking. You said that you love to cook and you have a lot of tips.
Yeah,
share.
I love to cook. When my kids were younger and like home and out and about with activities, I cooked all the time. Now I have to manage. Okay, we're out in the evening and all these things, and so like I said, some of you may be like, I'm a planner. I'm spontaneous, even with my cooking. So when I go shopping, I buy protein. We're not vegetarian, but I always have fish or chicken. I even eat some healthy lean steak. I need red meat. I always get my vegetables. Like I don't plan my meals and go shopping. I just buy the meat, the veggies. I don't buy a lot of junk food. Like if for that's how you save money. Like people say, well, I can't afford to eat healthy. And I'm like, well, if you stop buying so many chips and granola bars and pretzels and all these things, like you can, and you'll actually find that you can get out of the grocery store for family of 5 in like $115. Like you can do it. And so I don't like I'll get my kids one thing to leave in the pantry, and one thing ice cream just so we have something. But mostly it's fresh food and those staple products. So when I cook, and this is kind of how my mom cooks for me, it was always like a protein. I don't do a lot of casseroles anymore. I know I live in the South, but those are like special occasions. But they actually are way more expensive to make a casserole than to just cook. So I do my meats, and I have seasonings that I use for different ones. So if I'm doing like fish tacos, I'll do tilapia, and I have a great seasoning. And I always like to add fresh, like cilantro or garlic, or don't get stuff like don't get crushed garlic in a jar. Like just get a garlic press and get the garlic, and I add garlic to everything. I did roasted potatoes last night. So easy. Put garlic on them, some olive oil. I do a lot of roasted vegetables. So my protein might be on the skillet or it might be on the grill. That's probably usually how I do my protein. It cooks faster that way because we're usually in a hurry. And then my veggies I usually roast. So that's my favorite way. I'll season them sometimes, but you can take any vegetable, put it on a pan with sides, with olive oil, sea salt, fresh garlic or rosemary, then sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese when it's done. Oh, like heavenly. I do that with all my veggies. So that's what we eat a lot of. I always keep like spinach on hand or mixed greens to do a salad just in case I don't have time. When I cook, I make a lot of it so that I can eat it the next day. Because since we're really busy, I'm like, everyone's always, when my father-in-law comes, he's always like, you're cooking for an army. I'm like, yes, I am. We are an army now. And so I always make I don't just make enough for that night, but if I make extras, then we can eat it for the next night, or I can put it like in an omelet. I could put veggies, I can eat them for lunch. So I think it's good to always make extra. But yeah, just if you keep stuff you're going to eat what's in your fridge. So it's like if you keep those things in your fridge, avocados and tomatoes and things, then when you cook, it's so easy. The other tip that I give to people is when you go to the grocery store and come home, then if you wash you just lay everything on the counter with all your towels and go ahead and wash all your veggies, like prep them. So cut the ends off the broccoli or the asparagus, then put them in Ziploc bags. Like then when it's time to cook them, when you come in with all your kids, it doesn't take long. You can steam asparagus in like 6 minutes. It just maybe 10, I don't know. But it doesn't take long if you already have that stuff prepared and washed. You know, a fresh whole fruit cut up in your fridge. So
Yeah, you just have to be
it's all about
prepared.
preparation, which I struggle with. I really do. I'm very busy. So yeah.
So you said, people say, oh, I cannot afford to eat healthy because it's expensive, and people also say, I cannot afford a coach, I can't afford a trainer. Do you think it's absolutely necessary to have a coach or a trainer? Like I lost 70 pounds myself uh, since 2.5 years ago, and I somehow managed to have a baby in the middle, and I'm still not where I want to be, but I feel like it's a never-ending process. So I'm trying my best, like every day, like I do this and I do that, I eat healthier, I work out. But I had a trainer in the beginning to teach me just some simple things. She taught me about basics of weight training, and that helped me so much. Like I've never been interested in weight training until then. And then now I have a barbell in my backyard, and everybody who comes in, they make sure they lift the barbell. And this is my best friend because she never complains. She always listens to me, and she's always there when I'm stressed. So, do you think that's like we absolutely need a trainer?
I don't think you have to have one, but I do think that if you choose to go with a coach or trainer, it should be someone that's going to educate you on, like you said, on something that you can learn and do. That's all it is. It's basically like hiring a teacher. But if you're someone that maybe everyone's different, so you may be someone that's like, gosh, there's so many different things out there. I have no idea what to do. Like I read this on Facebook or I see this, on social media. There's a lot of free webinars. I do free webinars. You can get on, but there's so many different messages. So you want to find, like, I believe, I don't know. I think that can be confusing. So I think if you need some direction and guidelines, maybe you need motivation, then yes, it's helpful. If you've tried to do stuff on your own, I definitely think in the gym as a personal trainer, it's definitely a skill. Like you have to learn how to use machines, learn different things. It's not that hard, but I think it's good to hire a trainer to actually learn what to do it safely, that you don't hurt yourself. I know there are trainers that sometimes I've seen or heard trainers that they don't really have a purpose. So you might be working out with them and they're not teaching you. You want someone who can actually teach you and be like, okay, this is how you do, a shoulder press, and you can also do it with cables, you can do it with bands, or you could do it. Well, this is why you do this. This is why you start out with this. So again, education is huge. So I think you need to learn, and you're just unfamiliar, and that's what's intimidating you from going in the gym, or intimidating you, and you keep trying new diets and stuff. You don't need to be on a diet. You need to be on a healthy lifestyle forever. So 80-20, eat healthy 80% of the time, have fun 20% of the time, like, or 90-10. But yeah, and then if you're someone that needs motivation, I think an encouragement, it's definitely helpful.
The accountability is a big
right.
When you're on your own, you don't feel as accountable, or at least I don't, I guess. But when I'm working out with somebody, I feel like I have to do it because I promised, because I said I would.
Right. It's like having a community and a supportive community, and that's what with our Inspire Health team, we are like Inspire Health coaches, and so we have like private forums, and it's so cool because we're all encouraging these people, and so it's not just like me. It's like, wow, there's a lot of people on here that are sharing recipes and tips and encouragement and recommendations. So it's just neat, and I love. There's nothing better than encouragement in someone's life, and sometimes you just need somebody to listen. Not your mom, not your dad, not your sister. You don't want to. You just need someone that like genuinely cares and will listen to you.
Maybe somebody who's been through the same thing,
right? Or somebody
who is going through something similar to you.
Yeah, I remember I went to a counselor and I was like, you never had an eating disorder. Like, you have no idea what I'm going through. It was very hard. I saw her like a couple times. I'm like, no, like I just didn't connect with her at all. So,
and I have a couple of personal trainers in the past that I got through the gym, and like I'm not saying all of the trainers at the gym are not good, because there are good trainers, but there are some who maybe don't care as much because they get like, I don't know, 6 sessions with you and then never see them again. So, and he just put me through a program that I had no idea why I was doing leg press. I'm like, he never explained to me why to do it.
Yeah.
So, and finally I found a trainer who was really interested, and she was teaching, like, she taught so many things. So every time, we did a workout, she said, we're doing this and this together because of this reasons.
Right.
And then, so I think this is what's important. It's not about having a trainer, it's about having a good trainer who is really interested in you. As you said, there's support, there's accountability, there's encouragement that everyone needs. So,
and I think the goal, I mean, for me, when I was actively training people, my goal was to get them independent from me. See, so a lot of people are like, no, I want your money forever, never, never. And it's like, that's fine. But like, my goal was to be like, hey, let's get you to come in the gym and you can plan your own workout, like, oh, today I'm going to do my back and my triceps together because those are opposite muscles. And I'm going to start with, the lat pull down. And you just able to understand, like, oh, if I don't want to do this lat pull down, I could do the pull-ups over there. So it's just like understanding that, I think, is important. Like having a library in your head.
right.
Yeah.
So, to wrap everything up, I'm going to ask you a question that I didn't tell you I was going to ask you. So, what is a super mom to you? And do you consider yourself a super mom? What does it mean to you?
Yeah, I'm a super mom. No question about that. You are too. Oh gosh. I think anyone who is a mom is a super mom. Anyone who's carried a baby for 9 months in their belly and delivered them, whether through C-section or the other way. I'm not going to say the word, but super mom. Because as a mom, I mean, there's no other. My sister had twins, and to watch, like 2 weeks ago, and to watch her body and all the things she's going through now, I came home like, wow. So I just think physically for any mom, and maybe you've adopted a child, maybe you didn't physically have them, but yeah, a super mom there's just a lot of responsibilities, and I think it just means selflessness. To me, that's the first word that comes to mind, because we really have to not forget about ourselves, but we have this responsibility now, and it's it's a huge responsibility to raise a child and to raise them well and to love them and to be there for them and to encourage them and also not spoil them rotten. Like, it's hard. I took my kids, all these kids my husband goes to a private school, and so all these kids have these chairs. They're these, like, I don't want to give them a promo right here, but they're like these little, they hook up like bungee cord kind of thing, and they prop back in them, and so they're like, we want to go to Target, and I was like, well, I never stop buying the chairs. Like, I don't just go buy things for my kids. Like, I can afford to, but I just don't want to teach them that lesson. So yesterday was challenging as a mom. We're in there, and I'm like, I could buy this chair for them, but I'm not going to, because there's no reason to. Like, I'm not just going to walk into Target after school and say, oh, I'll buy a chair. And they were $30, and I'm like, oh. So I mean, they whine, and he's like, can I get baseball cards? Or I'm like, no, we're not just buying things. And that takes being a super mom to be like, I'm going to tell my kid no. It's not, he doesn't want to hear that, but I'm going to teach him. And we got in the car, and I said, if you want a chair, you can set up a lemonade stand, you can go cut somebody's grass, you can do all these things, and you can earn that chair, or you can wait till Christmas. But I'm not buy you a chair. And he actually looked at me and goes, Mom, I love you. And it's like, that is hard. That was really hard for me yesterday. I wanted to buy it for him so bad, but I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. And I think so. I know that's kind of off tangent a little bit, but yes, super mom being like selfless, but also realizing that it's very, very important to take care of yourself.
For them.
To decide to say it's okay to put my child in the gym daycare so I can get an hour to work out. It's okay that I need to go out with my girlfriends tonight and have coffee or drink. I don't like coffee, but whatever. Have dinner. It's okay that I need to go take a nap. Like, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Again, there's that balance in your life. So, yeah.
Thank you. And you couldn't say it better. It's I always that's exactly how I feel. Because every second, I think the second you even before you have a baby, the second you find out that you're pregnant, like your body's going through so many changes, and it's amazing that your body is capable of so many things. And then you have the baby, and you forget about how many like superpowers you have sometimes, and you put yourself back, and like yes, the kids are the priority, of course, and they will always be, there will always be there. But if you have yourself, what are you gonna like? What? How are you gonna live longer? How are you gonna live healthier if you don't care about yourself?
Yeah. But you're such a better mom when you do. I've always, my kids just know, like, mom's gonna work out. I work out every day, but just a little bit, or it might be like, mom needs, some peace and quiet. So it's just they know that, and that's okay. But I also spend a lot of time with them and love them, and it's okay to do that. I give all of you permission as moms to do that, and it's okay to have a business. It's just make sure you realize that like your family and your kids are more important than that business. It's easy when we're high achievers to get kind of addicted to success.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
so true. Yeah. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. But sometimes I'm like, I need to read or a book at night. That's what's gonna last.
Well, thank you so much. This was
welcome. Thanks for having me.
It was wonderful, to talk with you today. Great advice on nutrition, and I like how. Thank you for being honest and open, about everything that you said today. I think it's important that we can open up, and maybe somebody who's watching us right now, they can say, I'm just like, I'm just like you, or I'm just like this girl next door, and I can go and I can do things, and I can achieve things, and I can be great, I can be successful. Because I'm super moms.
We are.
Thank you. And again, this is the Super Mom Summit. My name is Lindsey Hardy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you.